Hey guys! Hi! Welcome back to the channel. Once again, my name is Wade and this is the beautiful
Tia Mara, but everyone calls me Tia. So you're good.
Did you just have a roll of the tongue just now? Okay, awesome. We're back here. We're going to once again talk about Avengers Infinity War, okay?
Infinity War.
Infinity War. So once again, if you guys haven't seen the movie, it's been out for the last 2
Shame on you.
Yes, exactly. I don't know what you've been doing. It already made $1.2 billion, so clearly you don't want to give Marvel your movie.
Marvel your movie, huh?
Yeah.
Did you have a slip of the tongue?
Oh, yeah.
Pretty much at this point, if you haven't seen it, then you are just asking for the movie to be spoiled for you because the internet is already swamped with memes.
Oh my god.
There's already so many spoilers.
I can't scroll through Facebook.
It's impossible.
If I didn't see it on the first night, I would have died.
I'm sorry, guys.
So Tia and I both saw the movie together and both saw the movie a few other times separate from each other. So we have some very interesting and diverse opinions about the movie.
Yes.
But we both really enjoyed it. So I already did my spoiler review, so let me give Tia a little minute or two to talk about what she actually thought of the movie.
So for me, as a lover of like superhero movies, that's what.
Okay, go ahead.
As someone who absolutely loves superhero movies and has been just watching the growth, and I'm not talking about the growth from just the Marvel. I'm talking about superhero movies in general, going all the way back to like the 90s. You know, from Spawn. Just like that was my only reference I can come off the top of my head. But you know, from that era. Just seeing how far superhero movies has come, and this movie to me was the absolute pinnacle of like what a superhero movie can be, and most importantly, what a superhero movie team can be.
Yeah.
It was so well coordinated. The storyline was very gripping. The action was like amazing, and you really kind of got a sense of the build-up.
Yeah.
You know, it was 10 years of build-up, and you know, for a 10-year build-up, the movie had to have that impact, and it absolutely delivered.
Okay, exactly. Well, before doing this discussion review, I posted a survey on Facebook asking people to sending their response to some of my questions, and one of my questions was, what is your Twitter length review of Avengers? And blank, because he didn't put his Twitter handle, said that it was audacious, dark, filled with plot holes. Interesting.
What did you just say? Audacious.
Yes, so blank said it was audacious, dark, and filled with plot holes. So we get into some of those plot holes that I think he probably talking about.
So we have Danny James 10, who said it was excellent as per Marvel movies usually are on-screen performances and attractions, but the ending, though anticipated from the comics, I was in shambles. We had Emperola, which is an interesting name, said, bruh, I don't know how to feel, to be honest. Like, it was awesome, but at the same time, the ending was messed up. I thought it was a great ending.
Well, I think this person means messed up in the positive sense of the word messed up. Yeah.
In the best way possible, it was.
And this is us for those of you who haven't turned away as yet. These last 2 tweets that we're going to read out is going to be the last non-spoiler part of the review. So if you're still here, I know what you're doing.
Spoilers ahead.
What's the next person said?
And Proud Turtle said, Avengers Infinity War. They finally got one right. Which I don't agree.
No,
I absolutely do not agree.
I want to know who the hell is Proud Turtle so that I could comfort you.
Come on.
So look, yeah, if you was to tweet out this movie in less than 140 characters, not this new one that Twitter have, how would you say it?
What would my twat be?
What would your twat be?
It would say, well worth 10 years. That would probably be summed up. Avengers Infinity War, well worth the 10-year build-up. That would probably be my.
I like that. For me, it would be something similar. It would be Marvel Avengers Infinity War, a cinematic experience not to be missed. Yeah. Spoilers ahead. What was your best part of the movie?
Well, being the kind of person I am, I can't just take a movie and say like, oh, this action scene, but I really just loved the balance. For it to have as many, I guess you can say, set changes or location changes as it did and still remain cohesive, and every single new place they visited, it was impactful. Like, it wasn't, they did a really good job of showing that first maybe 5-6 seconds of any new location and just kind of showing what was in the theater. And I can only imagine IMAX how much more impactful it would be, but this impact of this new place. And you really kind of felt almost like you're playing a video game. If you're gamers out there, when you go into, like, if you're playing a AAA cinematic game, and you go into a new area and they kind of give this like screen sprawl and you really feel ready for whatever's about to come to that in that next area. That's exactly what it felt like. I genuinely felt every new place that they showed, I was like ready for something to happen here, and it happened every single time. There was no wasted location. There was no wasted place.
Yeah, exactly. I think one thing I said in my spoiler review was that, you know, every set piece that I went to, every location felt like if it had a pre-existing story that we could dive into, that to be so. For me, it felt like watching a Star Wars movie where, you know, you could go into the comic books or into the novel and you could have this whole backstory about this one place, and it was interesting for them to be able to do that on such a quick pace in such a fast-paced movie that, as you said, was well balanced. For me, I know I found it to be very cohesive for such a very in-depth, intense, action-packed movie,
and such a large cast too.
Yeah,
like for them to split it up and still feel like you weren't watching. You were watching like 3 or 4 movies, but they were all
condensed into one.
Exactly,
and it flowed nicely, and
so
it was pretty amazing. You know, so you still haven't said what was your favorite part of the movie. That was the question. This would be nothing to politics. It's not Trump here. What's your favorite part of the movie?
My favorite part of the movie. Can it be a character?
It's gonna be a character. Well,
just like a portrayal. Like,
yeah.
So my favorite part of the movie, technically for me, was Doctor Strange. I felt in his movie, a lot of people slept on his movie.
Yeah.
A lot of people felt it was kind of disjointed from the rest of the MCU universe that they were building.
Yeah.
A lot of people felt like it was its own standalone thing and that he had no real place in Avengers. But in this movie, just his portrayal, his like... he centered himself in this film amongst Tony Stark, amongst Spider-Man, amongst Thor, amongst Rocket Raccoon, amongst all of these, you know, characters that are otherwise scene stealers and who are otherwise so big. He solidified his place amongst the MCU as not only a keystone character, because I'm sure we'll get into this. I'm more than certain he's going to be the linchpin and what happens in the next movie to like what will eventually be the solution to the movie, but just the way they portrayed his powers in this, the way that he spoke, the way that he interacted with each character, it was just an absolute. Every time he was on the screen, I loved it. I absolutely loved it. He was my favorite.
I can fully see why you would say Doctor Strange, because for me, I went into this movie not really expecting him to have a big role as he did, and I left thinking the same way, like, wow, Benedict Cumberbatch, Doctor Strange, he had a really good portrayal. This movie could have been him, Iron Man, and Peter Parker all together, just in one room, just...
Technically, for a point in time, it was.
Well, they were jumping from scene to scene, but I could have just do with them alone. It was awesome just seeing them on screen together.
You know what I wish? I wish in all the promotional stuff, they would have just put the cape also.
Oh, yeah.
The cape was his own character. Like, he was his own, like, he had so much on screen. He made his own jokes. Like, come on. Like,
I love when he came up to Peter Parker and he was just touching him, and Peter was like...
Like, seriously, the cape in of itself, it was like the carpet in Aladdin, you know? It was like, it was its own standalone character. You could not, they were together. They were like partners. Doctor Strange and the cape were like partners. And it actually had a part in fighting Thanos in of itself. Okay. So, like, it's a character in of itself. And I don't know, for me, that level of, like, detail, it really... put a smile on my face. It was both comic relief and an additional character we never saw coming.
Yeah, like, you wasn't expecting the cape to be a character. So that would have been what made it the 25th character in the movie.
Yeah.
That got at least 5 minutes of screen time.
I mean, it was a hero. It was an absolute hero, for real. Like, it was an absolute hero. It was one of my favorite characters easily.
Okay, let's see what the audience thought of it. So, what was the favorite part of the movie? One person said the ending. Fuck. The ending. The other person said at least the least favorite part for them was Star-Lord. Okay, that wasn't the question. So let's touch on the ending because I think two people mentioned the ending was their favorite part. For me, the ending was the most shocking part of this movie. Like, I went in expecting people to die. I went in expecting Tony Stark, Captain America to die. I left with Black Panther dying.
Oh, you Spider-Man dying? We don't have the time.
Yeah. Let's listen. Bucky died.
Hold on,
Groot
you have it.
Oh, okay.
So we have Falcon gone. We have Groot gone. We have Star-Lord gone. Drax gone. Loki
murdered. He was straight up fucking murdered this movie. Like, Thanos showed that motherfucker head out in the first 5 minutes.
He looked like, I'm gonna be making a lot of cross-referencing here. He straight up looked like Joffrey and at the Purple Wedding.
Yo, exactly.
He was like, it was gone. I was like,
yeah,
wow.
Just like Joffrey at the Purple Wedding, and since you brought it up, it's like, he's one of those people that you wanted to see die on screen, but then when he did die, you was like...
You know, I never wanted to see Loki die. I am glad in the last, 2.5 movies, they were kind of doing this turnaround for him. So to me, his death was like a redemption, because the way he died was, he died literally saving the one person he hated the most. And it was like, it was a total redemption for that character to kind of show that, yeah, he's an asshole, and he will always be Loki. That's just who he is, his nature. But at the core of who he is, you know, Thor is still his family. As far as he's concerned, that's still family.
Yeah, I think that by the end of Thor, it was given a final arc where he finally realized that, you know, Odin fucked up, but Thor is his brother. Mm-hmm. Thor is his sibling. So he come to terms with being, you know, he's still the king of his people that he killed in the first movie. But Thor is his brother. But what I liked about this is that they give us a moment in the beginning where we thought he was once again betraying Thor, but he almost, tried to attack Thanos and kill him, and I think that's why he double-crossed Thanos twice. In the first 5 minutes, and that's why Thanos killed him. Because, guys, let's touch on Thanos for a bit.
We're jumping all over the place, but guys, that's just what this movie is to people. Sorry.
Thanos was... I'm struggling to think, after 2 weeks now, if he's the best villain in the MCU, but he's the most interesting villain in the MCU. Because
he's definitely in depth.
Because he didn't really kill anybody, per se. Like, he killed Loki because Loki fucked up. He didn't
kill anyone directly, with the exception.
Like, the other people, he left half of every population there to regrow and stuff like that, and to get better. Like, you could understand his motivation. Like, it kind of fucked up that you could see that where he was coming from.
He always gave everyone a choice. You know, he didn't call himself the Mad Titan. He was brandished that because of his belief system was extreme. For example, for all of those out there who saw Black Panther, for those of you who left the theater thinking that, you know, they were team Killmonger, it's the same thing. You know, Killmonger had an extreme view of how he wanted things to get done, and ultimately it was for the right thing. That's what he wanted. He wanted to achieve the right thing, even if it meant extreme means. And that's exactly who Thanos was. Thanos was a person who saw what was happening, had a solution that was relatively unfavorable because it involved death. Like, it involved death. And his methods were extreme, but you can tell in his mind's eyes, he's like, would you rather me just, like, destroy a lot of people or watch the whole entire universe crash and burn? You know, he weighed out, which, by the way, and I'm sure we'll touch on this later, by the way, that's my theme of the movie. To me, the underlying theme of the movie was the fact that out of all the heroes, Thanos was the only person willing to actually make any sacrifices. Because had any of the other characters actually made some sacrifices, maybe they would have won.
No, I fully agree with you. Like, the main overall theme was sacrifices in this movie. And it goes back, I think, throughout the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe, they were constantly hitting on this theme of sacrifices and what you're willing to do for the greater good. And, you know, all our heroes in this movie had so many opportunities to destroy the stones that they had, but You know, they believe that, you know, they're heroes, so they're not gonna do that. So like Scarlet Witch, she could have destroyed the stone in Vision head long time, waited till the last minute.
Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange, he could have destroyed the stone, waited till the last minute. Like Gamora. Gamora found the stone like ages ago. You know, she told Peter Quill to kill her, he didn't do it. No, the mistake was what Quill made, not sacrificing her early on and just waiting till the last minute.